Hello, Starshine. This is Smadar from Song of Stones, and I am a crystal whisperer, which means that I talk to stones and they talk to me. And today, the crystals that have been whispering to me are a beautiful trio that came together to support me recently in helping me work through some fear helping soothe some fear that has been coming up. So I am in the midst of doing a qigong teacher training, and it was time for us that we're getting towards the end of our teacher training, and we were all testing. We were to do a routine that we would get graded on. So I normally am, I've done the practice in front of this group of people that I was going to be testing for several times before, and yes, of course, there's always nerves, but it was nothing out of the ordinary. It was nothing intense. But this time, I was feeling it really powerfully. And so I didn't think of bringing the crystals in right away. Isn't that funny? It took me a minute. I think it's because also I wasn't feeling it as intensely at first. But then I thought, oh, here I am, surrounded by these amazing stone beings that can help me and have helped me with everything under the sun. So I thought, okay, I'm going to listen for whatever crystals want to help me deal with this fear that was coming up. And I was in the middle of my practice when I was thinking about the crystals, so they came pretty quickly. I only had a couple of minutes to gather them. So these are the ones that came through. Petrified wood on the right. In the middle is a lepidolite book, and to the left is a white lioness opal stone. And I'll go through each one individually and tell you what I figured out after, because in the moment I just grabbed them, and immediately I felt a relief. And I thought, oh, why didn't I think of this before? Because it made such a difference. So let's start with the petrified wood. So here's the funny thing. It didn't even dawn on me when the wood started singing to me that the term petrified is a term that we use for fear. We use it because sometimes when we're fearful, there's people have different responses. Fight, flight, fear, freeze, or fawn. So fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And I've always known that for me, my big fear response is freeze. I just can't move. I get frozen. I can't move. And in a case like teaching, I would forget everything that I ever knew about, even though I've been practicing for years. And anyways, it's just a visceral primal response. There's nothing logical or there's nothing logical about it. So we need to soothe the fears. We need to honor, address them, and soothe them. And thinking our way out of it, talking our way out of it, is not the way to do it, because it's not coming. It's like it's a primal reaction. It's an instinctual reaction. There's nothing logical about it. So using logic, if logic worked, none of us would ever be fearful. It's just, so when I realized that the name petrified wood, in the name itself, was a clue to how it would help us. And of course, I in all my years of working with petrified wood, I never made that connection until now. Isn't that interesting? So one of the things, now that I'm on the other side of it, I can sit and listen and feel into what is around the fact that these crystals came up. And so the petrified wood, besides the name having the clue, the wood helps us to ground into the earth, to feel support. Because this is another thing, I don't know, everybody's going to have different reactions, but another thing that I get when I'm in fear is, unsteady on my feet, sometimes off balance, sometimes even feeling like I'm going to fall over. So wood, the trees, they're so solid and they're so rooted and they're so, I don't want to say straight, because, if you've seen trees, they bend and curve in all directions, but it doesn't matter how they are. They so strong in their form, whatever that form is. Even a tree that is totally curved to one side is strong in its stance, in its form, whatever that form may be, because it's so deeply rooted. And that's what petrified wood can take us into, that deep rootedness. Many crystals can help us with that, but this is not the only one. And if you're feeling called to a different set of crystals or a different crystal, or that's totally great. Whatever is calling to you is going to be the perfect one, because there are lots of crystals that can help us feel rooted to the earth. This is just the one that happened to sing for me, and this one particular. It came long before I even knew I needed it. It was around already. Both the lepidolite and the wood had been around for a while, and I thought, wow, isn't that great that they already knew that I needed them, even before I knew I needed them, even before I knew why I would need them. And the crystals are like that. The universe is like that. But the crystals are beautiful when it comes to showing up when we need them, to showing up before we need them. So the wood will help us to feel balanced and rooted as we stretch up and out into the sky, into the world. And you can feel their energy when you hold on to them. You can just feel that strength and support. And petrified wood, especially, because petrified wood it's been crystallizing. So it's got the essence of the tree, but the power of the crystal. It's really beautiful, and it's ancient. It's so ancient because it has been crystallizing over eons. So you can see how the wood can help. The lepidolite, that's the one in the middle. This one is a little bit, it's a little bit different than the typical book form, which is usually roundish. You know, it does, like, you'll find it in all kinds of shapes. There's layers of very thin, translucent, transparent, very flaky layers coming together in a solid crystal. So it's kind of cool with lepidolite, because if you look at it, it looks opaque, but if you hold it up, you can see through. It's very cool. So lepidolite. So the number one thing that I think of when I think of lepidolite is that it's a lithium-based mineral. And lithium is a calming, sedating kind of energy. And it's been used, lithium, in tranquilizers. Don't quote me on that, like, look it up, but I believe it has been used to help people with anxiety. I know that. How, whatever form it takes, it doesn't really matter. It's got a tranquilizing effect. But without the side effects lepidolite is, because it's, you were tapping into the energetics of it rather than the chemical formulation of it. So it's good. So right away I know that lepidolite is going to have a calming effect. And then I sat with it and listened. Afterwards, of course, after, the fear subsided, and after I was thinking clearly, and after my performance. So what I'm now hearing from it is that lepidolite is a mirror. It's like, if you look at it, it's very reflective. The book form anyway, because there's different forms of lepidolite. And I started to realize that lepidolite, I always knew that it could help us to see ourselves, to see the parts of ourselves that we've been hiding from, or that we need to see. But what it was telling me with regards to fear is that it helps us to see the truth, because a lot of our fears are, I'd say 99% of our fears. Listen, there are things that, in this big bad world, I don't think of the world as big bad, but I'm just for sake of conversation. There are a lot of things in this world that there are dangers here, and there are, good reasons for our fears. But most of the time, our fears are not grounded in anything true or real. They're, what's the word I'm looking for? They're, it'll come to me. But what I saw was, and especially, like, I'll take the example of me teaching in front of people, and we're not even talking about strangers, we're talking about people that I've been going through this program with. They were also going through the same thing, and they were lovely, lovely individuals, and the teacher that we had was also loving and lovely and gentle and beautiful and all that. So there was really no reason, no good reason for the fear. It was irrational. That's the word I was looking for. It's an irrational fear. And not to say that we don't honor our fears when they come. We do. Of course, they're showing up for a reason. But if we can see that we're safe and we're okay and nothing bad will come, no harm will come to us, that alone can help to ease the fear a little bit. Not on a mind level, not on the level of the intellect, on the energetic level. Because again, we can't talk ourselves out of an irrational fear, but we can tap into that energy of a stone being that will show us that we're okay. And then the one on the left, the white, beautiful crystal that kind of looks like it's layered or has a wing. It does kind of look like a wing to me. Anyways, you might see something else. That's an opal. And it is a very common opal in a sense. But this particular opal comes from a group of stones that have the white lioness energy. Specifically lioness. I do have some stones that have the lion energy, the golden lion energy, and they are incredible. And they would also be amazing to bring in here as well. But in the moment, it was the white lioness, that feminine fierceness that was coming in to support my fear, to soothe my fear. And then, of course, after things settled, what I was seeing was that fierce protectiveness. Because sometimes when you're in fear, all you want is that mother love, that energy that is holding you and letting you know that no harm will come to you, that you're okay, that you're protected, that you are loved and nurtured and cared for. I mean, just those words, saying them, just saying that brings this beautiful calm to my body. And that's the energy of this stone. Pause for dramatic effect. No, just pause. I pause sometimes because I'm just feeling into the energy of the stones, and they are quite powerful. And it gives you a moment when I'm pausing. Take a pause too. Feel into the energy. Look at the image of these stones and let that energy connect with your body. We don't do that enough. We don't pause enough. We feel like we have to be constantly moving through and just quickly, always going quickly. And we need to have more moments of pause. And, the qigong teachings that I've been learning are all about that. They're slowing everything down. It's a complete slowing down. And I think that when we're in fear, that can really help us to just pause and slow down and feel into our heart and allow the beating of our heart to slow. and the crystals, they can put us in that space. So that's, and I'm only just receiving this right now because I didn't know this before this moment, that the three of these crystals can create this beautiful circle that slows us down, that slows the heart rate, that slows the fear, that slows the direness of the situation. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that beautiful? I hope you're feeling it too, because I just felt this beautiful shift, this beautiful softening. And that's another thing that these crystals can help us to do, to just soften. To be at ease in our body. And then from that place, we can take on whatever it is that has got us scared. So there's going to be more about this in today's light log post. You can find that at songofstones.com. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a tab for light logs, and it'll be the first one if you're looking at it today. And if you're not, you can just do a search in the search box and search for Crystal Courage, and you'll find it. And I'll also be talking about these stones in the Sunday Sparkle newsletter, and you'll get also an invitation to our next Crystal Live, which is a beautiful place for you to come and be with us live in person in real time, where you can just slow down and listen for a message from your crystal. And I also will choose somebody to receive a message for. And that's it. And I wish you gentle, calm, soothing, soft, beautiful connections with your crystals, and may they help you tap into your most beautiful, deepest courage. And I know that a lot of us are in need of that. There's a lot of anxiety in this world these days, for many, many, many reasons. And whatever it is that's got you anxious, know that you can tap into the energy of the crystals. And if you don't have any crystals, just come here and look at the pictures and listen to the recording again, and just allow yourself to feel that beautiful, courageous energy coming into your body. Have a blessed day and week, and I'm sending you lots and lots of love.